How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the 3 trades I took on SPY. The first 2 were losers. I took a call, which was a loser. I took a put, which was a loser. My third trade was puts as well, which happened to be a bigger winner that ended up overall positive on the day. Before we get into those trades though, we're on the daily time frame. We'll take a look at a few levels we were watching for today, or that came into play today. The very top, which ended up being pretty much the high of day, we have 476.65. You can see an area of resistance, area that we either closed at or opened at numerous times. We have 475.9, we'll call it. That's just the high of this large candle here. We have 475.35 or 0.4 in that area, an area that we've found some support a few times. We have 474. That is an area that we have opened at, found support at, low a day a couple of times there. And then at the bottom here, about 473. So nice whole number area that's been the local top a couple weeks back, and an area that was pretty much the low a day today. We'll just jump straight into it. We also have the high and the low of yesterday's trading session. Didn't get close to the high, but we did interact with the low a bit today. Right off the gate, actually I'm going to back this up to the hourly here. Right out of the open, we were approaching this level that we had already rejected off of pre-market. It was also the low of Friday's session, an area that we had found support. So broken support becomes resistance, and then it proved it in the pre-market by rejecting off that area. So you can see those rejections here. We opened the day up and rejected off that, and I did not take that trade. I was thinking about it, but that was probably one of the better trades of the day. The first trade I did take, however, were calls down here. So I was trying to catch the bounce at 474. You see that we did find a local bottom here and rallied. I got stopped out on this push down, so I entered a little too early. I probably should have waited for a better 5-minute candle close or better confirmation. I was looking at the 2 minutes, so we'll take a look here. And this is why I entered. I entered because of this candle right here. So we have volume increasing, really high volume on that beautiful hammer candle on the 2 minute. So that is the reason why I entered, and I entered here. I believe I got stopped out on this push down, and then we made one further push before reversing. So I entered a little early. The 5-minute was still kind of in the process of being printed, I should say. Had I waited for maybe this to close, obviously hindsight 2020, but that would have been a much better time to enter. So a little bit of patience there. I think another thing to watch was pre-market lows down in that area as well. So I could have given it a moment, watched how we came down and held that pre-market low. That would have gave me a better entry in here, or maybe a place to hold rather than get stopped out. So got stopped out on this push down for a small loss. That was the first trade of the day. The second trade of the day will stay on the 2-minute chart here because it's a little bit clearer. And I took puts at the retest of this area in here where we found support in the pre-market and in the beginning of the day. So when we come down, found some support in this area, we'd also bounced a few times in the pre-market. As an area that once we broke through, we retested before kind of selling off a bit more. So on the come up on this retest, I should have waited, should have been more patient. We didn't really get any candle patterns indicating that we would reverse here. I was going off of this candle right here, this wick, showing some weakness. And then once we pushed up in this area, I started to scale in. Held through this because we also had this level right here, or just not a level, but an area that we'd bounced off of in the morning before falling through. Retested that, and we did reverse. I trimmed off some of my position. I was in profit when we got this push down here, but then it quickly reversed and stopped me out. So I held until the break of this high. So I sold once we broke that right there. That trade, not the greatest. I think the idea was there to look for puts in this area. I don't think I got the price action confirmation that I should have. On the 5 minute, this is that pullback that I trimmed off of. So, that on high volume actually looked like, that's why I held the rest of my contracts, is I figured that we might get that continuation of that downtrend. We did not, however. So that whole trade was entered too early, which made that loss much bigger than it should have. When I finally did get stopped out, I sized up. This trade was pretty ugly as well. So starting off the day, 1 trade bad, 2 trades bad. Overall, just not executing very well. The third and final trade that I took were puts up here at 476.6. The reason why, if you look, and I think it's obviously a bit more clear on the 4 hour, but that's at 476.6. So this has been a pretty big level on the 4 hour, an area that we've rejected off of, held for a while. Once we really broke down, kind of retest, sold off again. An area that we've rejected off of 1, 2, however many times in previous days. So that was a level that I was watching. And as we came up, volume kind of died down. We're getting longer upper wicks. And it looks like price was starting to sputter out a bit. And that's a bit more evident on the 2 minute here. So you can see volume really low. Actually, the highest volume was coming on these red candles. This candle here, we had the higher volume. This candle here was one of the higher volume. We had these really low volume green candles, another higher volume red candle. So a level I was watching for an area of rejection. Then we had some volume slowdown. We had some price action indicate that we were losing some strength here on the upside. Bought some puts here, and this was a result of Christopher Waller speaking. So this trade, also not the greatest. It did work out for me. I made both my losses back and some. I was profitable on the day because of this trade, but took some puts up here, 476 puts, as that was the level I was targeting. Scaled out once we started to drop. I sold 1 in here, sold the other 2 down here at this level. So that was a crazy trade. I don't know the percentage off the top of my head, but well over 50%. So that trade was pretty crazy. Still not very stoked on it because it was a reaction to news that caused that big drop. I think the price action in here, the volume indicating that there were some sellers watching that level, that was all solid. But I did know that there was news, and I did decide to hold through because the news came out right at 9, and we'd already shown some prior weakness. So I was hoping that it would continue. That being said, though, the levels played out pretty well today. I think I need to just clean up my execution, because you can see that we move, level to level pretty well. Coming down, finding, I guess this wasn't here. That was at pre-market level I didn't have. But even when you remove that, you can see that we kind of bounced pretty perfectly, finding support where you'd expect, resistance where you'd expect. I think I just need to trust my levels. Maybe give the price a bit of time to show me what direction we're moving. Maybe taking some trades too early in the day, or just not waiting for those confirmation like I did on the second trade. Kind of got me today, but lucky to walk away positive. That's all I have. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I do trade live Monday through Friday, so I'll be here all week. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.